Hello students, welcome back to Programming in C language. Myself Sreekanth. Yes, we are discussing about computer fundamentals. See, the main agenda of this today's session, we are discussing about what? Secondary storage devices. Okay, in a memory concept, we are discussing about what? Secondary storage with suitable examples. See, coming to the memory hierarchy, in the previous video sessions, we discussed in detail about what is register, different types of registers, history and users, cache memory, different types of internal memories like registers and cache memories, and we discussed about main memory like primary memories, RAM, ROM, this cache memory, virtual memory. We discussed in detail in the previous sessions, right? So if you missed that session, I attached the video link in the description box. Kindly check it out. Okay, fine. See, today the agenda of our session, we try to discuss about what? Secondary storage devices like secondary memories like magnetic disk, magnetic tapes and so on. See, it is very huge topics. We try to divide it several sub topics like magnetic disk one session like that, magnetic tape in another session like that we'll discuss. Okay. Yeah. So another important point, the processor, when you interact with this register, it takes what? Low access time. But now we are discussing about secondary memories. Look out, concentrate here. The access time is going to be keep on increases because the processor want to interact with these magnet tapes like secondary storage devices. Obviously it has what? More access time comparatively the registers and cache and main memory. Next, the cost wise, it's going to be what? Cheap, because we are externally we are going to be purchasing. It is not within the motherboard. Okay, not required to maintain more cost in what? Motherboard level. Next, capacity wise, in the registers, cache memory has what? Only less capacity storage area. But coming to the secondary storage, it has what? Huge volume of data we can store. High storage capacity was there. Okay. So look out these important points in the memory hierarchy. Okay. The agenda of this session, we are started about what? Secondary storage devices. See, yeah, the secondary storage basically categorized by what? Magnetic, optical, and solid state storage. And the magnetic, again, it categorized by what? Magnetic tape and magnetic disk. So in the magnetic tape, like cartridge drives, cassette drive, in the magnetic disk, like floppy disk, hard disk, like that. Okay. Yes, we try to discuss today about what is secondary storage devices. That to be what? Magnetic storages. Okay. See, coming to the secondary storage. See, what is this secondary storage? Secondary storage, also called what? External memory, okay, or secondary memory or auxiliary storage. The secondary storage device are primarily referred to storage devices that serve as an additional to the computer's primary storage like RAM, ROM, like that. Okay. See, a secondary storage device is a non-volatile device that holds data until it is deleted or overwritten. Such storage devices or media are not constantly accessed by what? Computer system, because I told you the processor takes much time to access the secondary storage devices, but it is suitable for what? Non-volatile device. We can store data permanently in the secondary storage devices. Okay. See, it is used to what? Mainly for store the data permanently. See, external memory or non-volatile devices also we can call it. See, it is slower than what? Main memory, because in the main memory hierarchy I explained just now, the processor first look out what? Registers, after that cache memory, after that main memory, after that what? Secondary storage devices. But access time is going to be what? The initial processor want to access this register only within the less time it going to be accessed, but coming to keep on increasing these memories, coming to the secondary storage, it has what? More access time, the performance is going to be decreased. But what is the advantage? It has a huge storage capacity comparatively internal memories and primary memories. This magnetic disk and magnetic tape can store what? Large volume of data. Okay. the contents of secondary memories are first transferred to the main memory and then the CPU can access it. Always remember, even though we are storing the data into the secondary storage devices, but CPU cannot access it directly secondary storage device because it has more access time. Performance is going to be digressed. Due to that reason, that instructions are again loaded into what? Main memory called primary memory. The instructions are executed always from what? Main memory only, even we are storing the data in what? Secondary storage devices. Okay, so it is also known as what? External memory, auxiliary storage. It differ from what? Primary storage, in that it is not directly accessible by the CPU. Okay, so these are all the main points of what? Secondary storage devices. Some characteristics of secondary storage memory: it is a non-volatile memory. Data is permanently stored even if power is switched off. See, once we are save our data in the secondary storage devices, even power off or system crashes also, no worries. The data is going to be securely stored in what? Secondary storage devices. Okay, it is used for what? Storage of data in a computer. Like generally you can think it out like backup memory, like that, because we are going to be storing our personalized data or programs or any kind of huge volume of data, files, records, all these things we are going to be storing in what? Secondary storage devices. Whenever we required, we can able to get it, we can modify it, we can read it, alter it, like that. We can do different kinds of operations, data related operations. See, comparatively main memory, these internal memories, primary memories, see these secondary memories is what? Slower. Because I told you the processor is going to be interacting with these internal memories and primary memories. Very rarely about what? Secondary storage devices. Okay, because access time is more. That is the reason. See, it basically categorized what? Magnetic storage, optical storage, solid state storage. Secondary storage devices are again categorized by what? Magnetic storage, optical storage, and solid state storage. We'll discuss one by one. Okay. First we go with, before discussing about these different types, first you need to understand what is SAM. Sequential access memory, because the memory is going to be accessed here what? In secondary storage devices what? Sequentially. See, that's what we called sequential access memory. See, this sequential access memory is a class of data storage devices that read their data in what? Sequence manner. See, this is in a contrast to random access memory where data can be accessed in any order. See, in RAM means what? Random access memory, the data is going to be accessed in what? In any order. But coming to SAM, the data is going to be accessed to what? Sequential order. See, in sequential access, the system must search the storage devices from the beginning of the memory addresses until it finds the required piece of data. Memory device, see, which suppose such access is called a sequential access memory or serial access memory. See, in the primary memory we discussed about what? RAM, right? Random access memory. There the data is going to be accessed what? In any order. But in case of SAM, the data is going to be accessed what? In the sequential manner. For that, sequential access memory or serial access memory we may call it. Best suitable examples like magnetic tape, like audio video cassettes, these comes under what? SAM, sequential access memory or serial access memory. So I want to read it again. From the beginning only we can able to read it. Okay, some of the important features of sequential access memory is like data is stored and retrieved in a sequential process. How data is going to be read and retrieved? In a sequential access. Sequential access must begin at the beginning and access each element in order, one after the another. So it's going to be accessing what? One after another in a sequential manner. See, it is simple to what? Organize. See, these are all what? Major features. So many features are there, like the magnetic sequential access memory is typically used for what? Secondary storage in general purpose computers due to their higher density at a lower cost. See, it is slow when accessing specific things in a no order. It involves shared read or write mechanism. So it is also involved what? Shared read or write mechanism. The access time depends upon what? Location of data and previous location. See, these are all about what? SAM, sequential access memory. The suitable examples, magnetic tape like audio and video cassettes. Maybe you understood, right? In the cassette, it going to be reads what? From the beginning. Okay. Yes. Another type of access is called DAM, direct access memory. DAM stands for what? Direct access memory is a form of computerized data storage. It refers to conditions in which a system can go directly to the information that the user wants. See, memory devices which supports DAM, direct access memory, or best examples, suitable examples like magnetic disk and another called optical disk. See, these two are the suitable for what? DAM, direct access memory. Okay. So major features like direct access memory features like directly store and retrieve data. We can directly store and retrieve the data. It has what? Fast access. Each storage position has unique address and can be accessed in what? Same length of time. You can locate a particular data item or file immediately without having to move consecutively through items stored in front of the desired data item or file. See, it is somewhat slower while accessing sequential data that is not already in what? Order. Okay, so this is about what? DAM, direct access memory. Examples like magnetic disk and optical disk. Okay, in the SAM, examples like magnetic tape and like audio or video cassettes. The data is in the form of what? Sequential. I can give the brief differences about these two. See, sequential access is nothing but what? Data is stored and retrieved in what? Sequential process. But coming to direct access memory, directly stores and retrieves data. In sequential access, must begin at the beginning and access each element in what? Order, one after the another. But in direct access, it allows the access of any element directly by locating it by its index number or address. Okay. So in case of sequential access, magnetic tape has only sequential access. But coming to direct access, like optical disk, magnetic disk, CD-ROM has a direct access. So it has what? Sequential access what? It has what? Some slow access. But coming to direct access, it has what? Fast access. So these are all what? Some differences between SAM and DAM. Okay. So coming to the magnetic storage. See, a storage medium in which different patterns of magnetization are used to represent stored bits or bytes of information is called what? Magnetic storage. Okay. See, once again I'm repeating. See, what is this magnetic storage? Magnetic storage is a storage medium in which different patterns of magnetization are used to represent stored bits or bytes of information. Say already explained in detail about what? Memory units, representation units like bits, bytes and so on. I hope all are remember about those session concepts, right? Yes. Here this magnetization are used to represent what? Stored bits or bytes of information is called what? Magnetic storage. See, categorized magnetic tape, magnetic disk, cartridge tape, zip drive. See, these are all what? Different types of what? Magnetic storage. It consists of these types: magnetic tape, magnetic disk, cartridge tape, and zip drive. Okay. We'll discuss one by one. We go with the magnetic tape. See, magnetic tape is looks like that. See, all are familiar about these, right? Magnetic tape. Okay. See, magnetic tape provide a compact and inexpensive method of storing data and programs. These magnetic tapes are mainly used for what? backup of data. Okay, see, some magnetic tape is what? Half-inch wide tape of what? Mylar material coated with what? Magnetic material. Okay, see, before discussing these characteristics, try to understand here. Magnetic tape data storage is a system for storing digital information on magnetic tape using what? Digital recording. See, it provides a compact and inexpensive method of storing data and programs. See, it is used for what? Previously, it is used for what? Backup of data. See, magnetic tape is half-inch wide tape of what? Mylar material coated with what? Magnetic material. See, it is prepared for what? High speed applications. See, the best example is like IBM system 360, the introduced in 1964, like 9-track tape, linear tape open, the extension LTO 1990s, IBM 3592 series of tape drivers. Like these are all what? Releases versions of what? Magnetic tape used in what? IBM system 360. Okay, see some features of magnetic tape, like magnetic tape is what? Half-inch wide tape of what? Mylar material coated with what? Magnetic material. See, these magnetic tapes have what? Much higher data transfer rate and are preferred for what? High speed applications. Okay, it is preferred for what? High speed applications. See, this magnetic tape is as same as what? Playing an audio cassette in a tape recorder. See, you're all familiar about these tape recorders, right? In your home, generally you listen the musics and so on, right? Music recorders. Yes. See, it is what? Same as what? Playing an audio cassette in a tape recorder. Whenever we like to hear a particular song from an audio cassette, we need to rewind or forward the tape for that particular song, right? We are all familiar to used, already we use these kind of cassettes, like we can forward it, we can rewind it. Okay, we can listen the music or audio songs, correct? Yeah. See, data is stored as binary digits. Represented binary means already we are familiar about this word binary, represented by 2. See, binary digits are 0 and 1. It represented by what? 0 and 1 in magnetic tape. See, which represents the presence and absence of what? Magnetic field. Okay, it represents what? Like on off, like presence or absence in the magnetic field. So it's going to be looks like that. Okay, so this is about what? Magnetic tape. See, these magnetic tapes are what? Portable in size, we can carry anywhere. Portable means we can carry, okay, anywhere. See, magnetic tape is what? Reversible means what? Data can be erased from the tape and new data can be stored onto it. Okay, see, this portable in size means we can carry this storage device easily from one place to another. But magnetic tape is reversible is nothing but what? Data can be erased from the tape and new data can be stored onto it. See, it is a multi-purpose medium. It can be used for what? Input, output, and storage. See, this magnetic tape is very economical device. The life of magnetic tape is very high as compared to some other storage devices. Magnetic tape is what? Sensitive to what? Dust, temperature, moisture, and other environmental factors. See, we need to care about these magnetic tapes. Otherwise, it's going to be what? Getting some damage. Okay, so these are all what? Important features of what? Magnetic tape. See, what is magnetic tape, where and when it is going to be introduced, and what are the major features of what? Magnetic tape, just only we had discussed, right? See, next we go with what? Magnetic disc. See, magnetic disc, it is like a gramophone record which is made up of what? Plastic like material called what? Mylar. See, magnetic disk are the most popular medium of what? Data storage in nowadays. See, it is like a gramophone record. Okay, how it going to be looks? It's like a gramophone record which is made up of what? Plastic like material called mylar. This material is used for what? Magnetic disk. See, some main features like the data is stored in the same way as in what? Magnetic tape. The read or write heads are what? Small electromagnets that are capable of what? Reading, writing data and erasing the data stored in the form of what? Magnetic spots. Okay, see, try to listen here. The read or write heads are small electromagnets that are capable of what? Reading, writing data and erasing the data stored in the form of what? Magnetic spots. See, data is randomly stored and retrieved from these disks. The drive can access any portion of data directly. So these are all what? Important magnetic disk features. See, to store data on magnetic disk, it should be formatted. See, formatting is a process of what? Creating a tracks and sectors on the surface of disk so that the data can be stored. Okay, so before storing the data, first you need to format it. Formatting is nothing but what here is a process of creating a tracks and sectors on the surface of the disk so that the data can be stored. See, tracks are concentric circles and sectors are the portions created by dividing the disks into number of portions. So these sectors are often grouped into what? Clusters. Okay, clear, right? What is formatted, what is the tracks? Okay, see, magnetic tapes store the data in the form of what? Sequentially. Magnetic disks stores the data what? Randomly. Okay, so you need to remember these very important points about what? Magnetic disk. Okay, so next, magnetic disk, again it going to be categorized by what? Two types: floppy disk, another called removable disk, hard disk or fixed disk. Okay, see, once again I'm explaining magnetic disk. The main feature is called what? Formatting and tracks. Try to understand. See, the stored data on magnetic disk, it should be what? Formatted. Before you are going to be storing the data, that should be what? Formatted. See, why we are formatting? Formatting is nothing but is a process of creating a tracks and sectors on the surface of the disk so that the data can be what? Stored. See, tracks is nothing but what? Tracks are what? Concentric circles and the sectors are the portions created by dividing the disk into what? Number of portions. These sectors are often grouped into what? Clusters. Okay, so this is about what? Magnetic disk. Magnetic disk again categorized two different types basically. First one is called floppy disk or removable disk. Second one is called hard disk or fixed disk. Okay, see, nowadays this hard disk also comes under what? External hard disk also comes in the market. Okay, so previously it has what? Only internal hard disk, that's what we call fixed disk, but nowadays it also comes what? External hard disk. Okay, next, floppy disk. We discuss one by one. First one, floppy disk or removable disk or diskette, we may call it. See, these disks used in what? In olden days. Nowadays we are using all optical disks like CDs, DVDs or solid state disks like pen drives, SD cards, MMC cards. These things we are using. But this floppy disk is in olden days is one of the most popular data storage medium. Use it for what? Permanent data storage and data transfer before the invention of what? Compact disk. Okay, CD. Compact is nothing but what? Compact disk is nothing but what? CD. See, before invention of CD, that times they used what? Floppy disk. The floppy disk was introduced by what? IBM in 1972. Floppy disk basically consists of a round flat piece of plastic coated with a magnetic material. So it looks like that. This is about floppy disk. Okay, several characteristics of floppy disk like the two principal sizes or dimensions of floppy disk are 3.5 inch and 5.25 inch. Okay, so around 3.5 inches means 1.44 MB only data stores. 5.25 means what? Around 1.2 MB data is going to be stores. Floppy disk are what? Portable. Portable means just only we discussed, we can carry anywhere. We can easily carry this storage device from what? One place to another for data storage. Okay. Floppy disk are slower to access than hard disk and have less storage capacity. See, just imagine 1.44 MB only it going to be stored. Okay, but in 1970s it going to be very big thing for storing data in what? One separate disk like floppy disk. We can able to carry that disk from one area to another area, right? See, 1.44 MB capacity it going to be stored in the floppy disk. Okay, comparatively hard disk it is what? Very less storage capacity. Okay, the storage capacity of a 3.5 inch floppy disk is how much? 1.44 MB, and 5.25 inches is how much? 1.2 MB only. Floppy disk are reusable. We can write the new data on a floppy disk after erasing the previous ones. Okay, yeah. Floppy disks were not very much durable. It could be used for 3 to 4 times only. Okay. People use it to carry same data in multiple floppies so that in case of damage of one floppy, the other one could be used. See, we can reuse it, but only maximum up to what? 3 to 4 times only, not more than that. Okay. Floppy disk is what? Sensitive. Again, it is also sensitive to what? Dust, temperature, moisture, and other environmental factors. So this is about floppy disk. In 1970s, it is introduced. Okay, it can able to store how much data? For 3.5 inches, 1.44 MB data we can store. For 5.25 inches, 1.2 MB data we can store it. Okay. So next, hard disk or fixed disk. See nowadays, just only I told you, right? Internal hard disk is going to be what? Fixed disk, but external we can able to carry it. Okay, external like solid state, how we are using pen drives like that, we can also use this external hard disk. Okay, anyhow, here we are discussing about what is hard disk. Hard disk or fixed disk is another type of magnetic disk on which we can store data and information what? Permanently. See, IBM, just only we use this IBM word, right? International Business Machine invented what? Hard disk in what? Around 1950s, 1957 like that. Okay. Initially, they were called fixed disk and later they were named what? Hard disk. See why the name came for what? Initially they called what? Fixed disk, later it renamed what? Hard disk. Okay, see the first production IBM hard disk drive, the 350 disk storage, okay, in the shipped in 1957 as a component of what? IBM 305 like RA say Ramka systems. Okay, IBM 350 were the IBM 355, IBM 7300, IBM 1405. Like these are all what? Extension versions about these hard disks used by IBM. Okay. A hard disk contains a number of platters of aluminum coated with a magnetic material. Each of these platters is divided into what? Tracks and sectors. Just only explain, right? What is tracks and what is sectors? Okay, tracks and sectors. All the platters are arranged on a what? Spindle. This spindle is attached to a motor that can rotate at a speed of what? Around 5600 RPM, rotation per minute. 5600 RPM. RPM stands for what? Rotations per minute, or 7200 RPM, rotations per minute. Okay, the major characteristics like hard disk holds what? More data than what? Floppy disk. Its storage capacity comes in what? GB, gigabyte. And nowadays we also used what? Terabyte. See, you can observe in the market, you can check it out in the market, the hard disk available, both internal and external hard disk available in the form of what? TB, terabyte. But in olden days used for what? Hard disk is going to be used for in the form of what? Gigabyte, GBs. Okay, Hard disk stores the data what? Permanently. Okay, it is a secondary storage device. It is a non-volatile in nature. See, the highest capacity desktop hard disk was 16 TB in what? 2019 onwards. See, the modern hard disk 3.5 inches for desktop computers and 2.5 inches what? Primarily for what? Laptops. So these hard disks are connected system by standard interface cables such as like PATA, parallel ATA, SATA, serial ATA, USB or SAS, serial attached SASI cables. So this is the way we can connect with the computer. Okay. See, to store data on a hard disk, it should be formatted. Okay, formatting is a process of what? Creating a tracks and sectors on the surface of what? Hard disk, so that the data can be stored. Here, tracks are concentric circles and sectors are what? Portions created by dividing the disk into what? Number of portions. Okay, yes. See, I try to stop up to here because the time is running out. Okay, so I try to continue this hard disk with what the in detail explanation about how these internal components of hard disk and drives will going to be discussed in detail in the next coming sessions. Okay, see, yeah. I try to continue these hard disk features and this internal component of hard disk drives in the next coming sessions. So I try to stop the session up to here. Okay. Okay. Thank you for watching my videos. Thank you all.